Music.
We the my life damnation. You realize all the time we waste. You realize all the pain we face. Peace walk up feminine libation. My gosh, we raise. Please sympathize all the lies we raise. Please realize all the time. Family energy, drink a couple quarters on my course, then I go down. If I rule the world, money stacks for all my daughters. Never ask for payment in the womb times 9. Now we see the blood on the street times try. Feminine energy, balance of the indestructible in the vaginal, heaven in thine. Heaven is mine, spiritual, lyrical, mother sang sweetest taboo, regal kind. If I was astonished by the level of shame, feminine energy, right? Intuition and ambition, intuition shine. Intuition and ambition running through my veins. Pour out the love, let the healing begin. The birds and the bees ain't got nothing. The birds and the bees ain't got nothing. Energy.
Fanboy, I beg you listen me. I beg you open your ears for any wetin I dey say. Wetin I dey talk. Na serious talk I dey talk o. No be till I'm here speaking. Listen. In this world we dey o, remember say ya, one day go come when we all go go. Before long, we go meet Mama Godo. When we dey meet Mama Godo, tell me, wetin you go say?
We the my life damnation. You realize all the time we waste. You realize all the pain we face. Please walk up feminine libation. My gosh, we raise and please sympathize all the lies we raise and please realize all the time. Female energy, 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 times always. Carry all the weight of the world on your shoulders. Give a couple pounds to the woman who adore us, told us, focus, love and support us. Magical, umbilical, my universe is radical. Introduce the nation to embracing what is factual. Feminine energy, almost mathematical. You can release all my body's infinite and valuable. Feminine energy, balance of the indestructible in the vaginal, heaven in thine. She sing a melody to pass the time. Give us her energy so she feel mine. If I was astonished by the level of shame, feminine energy never shame again. Brain, tame, brain, brain, intuition and ambition running through my veins. Pour out the love, let the healing begin. Birds and bees ain't got nothing. Birds and bees ain't got nothing.
Greetings, family. Greetings, everyone. It is going to be beautiful, wonderful. This is live on IG. I actually want to, those who are watching on IG, this is 2 different angles. So I'm going to strive as if I'm a pro to this, but on the reel, the cameras from both ways is a little different. So I'm going to turn this one around, as you all can see on IG. And when the presenters show up on the screen, I'll flip the phone. Greetings. And so I'm speaking on IG right now. So for the family who's watching on YouTube, you'll have some more family joining in. But let me just deal with the IG here. Peace, Terry. Greetings.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to flip this way. This is fine. That's better for IG. So we're going to get started very shortly. So if you have an option, you can actually live have a view from the YouTube. The link, I'm going to send it to you all. I'll send you the link in the comment section. Give me 1 sec. And you can view it through the YouTube channel. Want to shout out Black Eyes TV, Brother Terry, Riggs from the UK, our back-end tech support. We want to thank you for all your support. Okay. I like my music, Terry. That was wonderful. I was vibing, I was jamming, and you know the people was jamming too, because I know how we do. One thing you all know about Majestic, I am truly myself. I'm gonna be me. You can find more details here. Perfect. Okay. So the link that I just posted for those who want to watch it on YouTube, I just posted it.
Greetings.
We're the beautiful people. We're the beautiful faces.
Okay. Majestic, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, I just wanted to give a big announcement. I've just got some shocking news that's just come through. Apparently, I've just heard from people close to Dr. Layla Africa, and he apparently has passed away on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just putting that announcement out there.
Oh. Of course, this is some shocking news. Experiencing it live. So we will hold a moment of silence. This is definitely shocking news to the community. Yeah, Terry, I think we should hold a moment of silence. 1 second, family. I want to apologize for the delay for those who are watching live and for those guests that are waiting. So please bear with us.
Peace, 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 family. As we've got this shocking news and we've done a minute's silence, we need to celebrate the best times of what Dr. Layla Africa has given us through this epidemic that we are going through worldwide, and to celebrate the great things and to keep his knowledge and information alive. This is what I was talking about pushing our legacy and giving our children the legacy by passing the knowledge of what's been given to us. As I said, it's a kind of a sad day, but it's a happy day. It's a happy day of joy. And the best way we can contribute to Dr. Layla Africa is to purchase his books, because that's what's going to keep him alive. That's what's going to keep his name going. As I was close to the family, it's kind of put me in a different mind state. But life moves on. And we have to be able to carry that legacy to the next level. It's time for us to stop talking and start taking action and doing the work. We know the answers. We know what we need to do. It's time for us to push forward. But today is about joy. Today is about bringing our sisters together and giving our children hope. Health is key because we all need healing. We're going through a time of trauma and we need to undo what is there. It's now for us to be powerful people and start to do what we're supposed to do and stop fighting against each other and start to teach our children our legacy to moving forward. Family, it's time.
Thank you, Brother Terry, for sharing. And I mean, condolences to everyone who, you know, when we lose our warriors, leaders, and those who we all look up to, that's family. And whether we've known the person personally, like Brother Terry, been close to the family, it's still, when you understand love and unity and community, you feel a great loss, and the hearts are burdened. And so it is definitely a great day, but it's also a day of reminder that life is definitely precious and can be fragile depending on the choices we make and what we do within our time that we are given. So thank you, Brother Terry, for sharing that. And if you don't mind, before we hold a moment of silence in honor and respect for this life, Brother Terry, if you are in a position to just share for those who may not know, you know, are new to this knowledge, holistic lifestyle, or the warriors and ancestors and those who come before us, if you can share just brief, if you're in a position to do that, with who our beloved still is, and of course, if you can share any information so that the public, those who are on the call watching, if they're not familiar with Dr. Africa.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to describe a man that has been doing his work and trying to show people what it's supposed to be about. As I said, he's one of my master teachers. I learned a lot from him. He always used to say, you know, when you're fasting, just eat a plantain. But, you know, there's just so much to talk about him and what he has done. He has given the foundation to quite a lot of people out there. And, you know, he was one of our elders and one of the guys that I can say I highly put in respect. He even came down to the Manhood Academy in London and demonstrated it. If you go into our archives, you were able to see quite a few things. And we have our brother King Simon in the building. You know, he's one of the brothers that has been closely beside Dr. Layla Africa as well. He's been doing a lot of his promotions from New York all the way up. He used to stay in their house. He's helped quite a lot, and he's been an amazing man. And all I can just say right now, for now, is that until I get the full insight of what's gone on, my condolence goes to his wife, Melanie Stevens. So that's all I can say for now.
Yes, sir. Definitely condolences to the family once again. We welcome everyone. IG, we breaking news, and I mean, you don't expect sometimes the unexpected, and so Dr. Layla Africa passed. For those who are tuning in through the IG live, so welcome. This is before we hold a moment of silence, and I'm going to pour some libation. This is the info session for the Sacred Woman Rites of Passage. So we are live YouTube, and for those who need the link, I'm posting it right now in the comment section. So you can add that to your phone and you can watch via YouTube. Our special guests, we have Terry from the UK on at this time on YouTube. We have Tatiana Newman and Michelle Williams. So at this time, I'm going to pour libation. It's just, we give thanks and praise to those who have come before us, who have paved the way in leadership, in providing us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on how to live a better life, making better choices. We always are to be in gratitude. Gratitude is something that's important, and giving gratitude is to honor those who have come before us or those who have put in work that we may benefit and apply the knowledge and the wisdom to our lives. So we're going to do just a moment of silence in honor of one who has now gone to a rest. Give thanks and praise. So, welcoming everyone to the Sacred Woman info session. There are a few different programs that are offered out of the Queen Afua University of Wellness. And the Sacred Woman Rites of Passage program is one of them. And so as my name is Majestic Gian, and I go by Majestic. And as a Sacred Woman practitioner, I've taken the Rites of Passage program a few years ago and furthered my studies in the practitioner's course. As a Sacred Woman practitioner, we are responsible for the education and delivering information of wellness and good lifestyle practices to our communities and our families, and of course with ourselves. Everything begins with self. So I'm honored to be here with you all. I'm happy, and we're going to have a conversation. There's a lot of questions that, whether it was at events or just DMing me, asking about the program and what is it? What is it about? How can I get connected? And so on this call today, you will hear from different testimonies of sacred women all over the world. We want to thank Black Ice TV for streaming us live on YouTube. We want to thank Brother Terry for always constantly supporting us, the Sisterhood. And this is global. This is not just a Toronto thing. This is not just a New York thing. This is a global way of enlightenment. You know, when you're on that journey of healing and striving to live a holistic life, you start to awaken. There's an awakening, a quickening of the spirit, and it's like a subtle voice that reminds you, I need to do better. I need to pay attention. I need to be mindful and conscious. Sometimes we're just doing things, you know, we're doing the 9 to 5. We're just going and going and going and not knowing that there are some things that could be affecting us, or there are some choices that you can make that can improve one's life financially, relationship wise, and in your space. You know, sometimes we get clouded, the vision is blurry, and we don't know how to tune in or focus. There's those blockages. So the Sacred Woman Rites of Passage program is a phenomenal program, and you're going to hear more about it. And hopefully after this, our presentations, your questions will be answered. So myself, I'm not going to speak too much about my personal journey, because everyone's journey is going to be unique of itself. If it's something that you've been thinking about, welcome those who are coming on the call, welcome. But if this is something that you've been thinking about, that you want to take your health more serious, that you want to take the choices that you make, you want to be more mindful and conscious. Sometimes we need guidance or supporting tools. And in this text, this very powerful book, there are tools in there. There are supporting. There's advice. There's the guidelines. It truly is powerful. And so you're going to hear live from sisters all over the world their own personal experience. At this time, I'm not going to share too much about mine, because of course I want to introduce some of our guests that we have. And also I want to get right into it. So Queen Afua, you may or may not have heard this divine being, this wonderful woman, and all that she, over 45 years, 50th year is 2020. This is the 50th anniversary of this great work. So just a little bit for those who don't know about Queen Afua and the history, I'm just going to share a little bit. So holistic health practitioner and wellness coach. She's a pioneer and author of 5 powerful books. You may have heard of Man Heal Thyself, City of Wellness, Heal Thyself, Sacred Woman, of course. There's Planet Heal, but powerful books. And so out of the University of Queen Afua University of Wellness, there's a different program. So Rites of Passage, Sacred Woman, is opening the gateways to guide one to ascend higher. And so to look within, to challenge where there needs to be challenges, to fix themselves, relationships. And there are the different gateways. And so in a little bit, we're going to run a video that will summarize and explain the program. And if you have any questions, you can type them in. You can ask on YouTube, and we are here for you to answer. And if we don't know the answer, we have a strong community. Once again, this is international. This is not just in the US or in Canada. It's everywhere. Caribbean to the UK, it's everywhere. So with that being said, I would like to turn the Instagram, those who are following on Instagram, I just want to welcome some people that are watching. Roots K, welcome. Toya, welcome, sis. Joel, yeah, we got brothers on the call. And so some of the brothers that are on the call, there is Man Heal Thyself. This call is for the sisters, but if you know of any other sister, it would be helpful for you to pass on the information and to even educate yourself. So welcome, Sandra. So I'm going to turn over the phone to here. Welcome, Chef Amira. I see you, sister.
Hey.
This is our beautiful sister. Live. She's here.
Yeah, I am here.
So welcome. And so Terry, Black Eyes TV, want to thank once again Black Eyes TV in the back end, always supporting and dealing with the technical stuff. So we will, when Terry's ready, we're going to run the main information of this call today. And of course, we're going to hear from some of our guests, our sisters, their testimonies on this phenomenal program. So when we are ready, Terry will and just bear with us. Sometimes those glitches do take place. You know, a lot of technology advanced out here. However, there are things we can control and some things we gotta be patient.
Gateways really reflect your inner spiritual anatomy. In your inner spiritual anatomy, you will meet Newt, the womb universal mother, and what she does is she helps you to heal your womb. So those women who are suffering from fibroid tumors, endometriosis, heavy bleeding and clotting, PMS, womb emotional trauma from relationships, that gateway will address those issues. The next gateway is the gateway of Newt. Newt is the word. What you say is what you create. And the word is medicine. And that word is called Ucha. That medicine helps to transform all of your energy centers. And we say, Hekawa, words of power, words of medicine. And so we will shift those words that create a toxic reality and take our words and form them into lotus blossom words that heal the sick, the wounded, the broken through our words. And some words have been traveling with us all of our lives. And in our subconscious, we keep on breaking ourselves down and attracting relationships that break us down because of the words that have been spoken as a child. We grew up with those words. So now it's time to shift. And so we say, take the words and make that word work and make that word magical power. That moves us into our next gateway. The next gateway deals with Ta'ert. Ta'ert is our mother of the garden. Ta'ert is the one who nourishes us through the garden foods. So in that garden, we will learn how to use food as medicine. Everything we eat has an impact, from celery for the nerves and the skin and the hair, to ginger for the circulation, to green foods to repair the emotional body, break the addictions. Everything that you eat in nature has a purpose. And we're going to delve into that purpose. And so we'll be eating from the garden to heal ourselves. This is holistic. This is sisterhood. This is transforming families. Not only are you going to transform yourself as a healing woman, a healed up woman, but you can also transform your family, your loved ones, your co-workers, your community, your friends. And we move ourselves from sacred medicine, from sacred womb to sacred word to sacred food is medicine, into moving forward. And that gateway is the gateway of best. And each of the gateways, these are indwelling principles, they have a glyph. And the glyph for best is a knife and a feather. You are learning to be your own surgeon, and you're cutting away corruptible matter. And you're putting the feather to help to be a salve, to create a balance. And so many of us are stuck. We keep doing the same things all the time, and we keep getting the same negative reactions. And so we just got to pick ourselves up and move forward. And then from best and transforming ourselves and moving forward and getting unstuck and getting unblocked and letting go of some relationships that are toxic and moving to healthier relationships and healthier ground, we move ourselves into Heterhood. Heterhood is about love and beauty. But in order to be a beautiful woman, you have to actually go to your inner child and meet her. And that inner child may be under your bed, in a closet, in a corner, in a shower, frightened, fearful. And that inner child grows with you. If you don't heal her, she comes with you as a teenager and you act out. That inner child comes with you as an adult and you have these relationships that keep breaking down because you're still hurting and wounded from her. So on this pathway, we go into our meditation and we meet her and we bring her up and we say, come with us, come with me. We're going to heal on this path. And so you bathe her and you pray over her and you eat the foods that heal her and you comfort her and let her know there's another way. There's a way out and a way up. And then that beauty begins to come through you. You become beautiful because beauty is really from within. But I'll be teaching you ways of the beauty path according to our ancestors, from the garments you wear, the colors that you wear. Everything has a message. To the stones, the crystals that you wear. All of that is a part of the medicine. And so we do head wraps. We adorn our eyes as our ancient ones, the shining beings did. We wear our ucha, right? So we can remember to stay in our center, to stay in our seat of power. And so from that gateway of beauty, we move ourselves from head Haru into Nebet Head. Nebet Head is the lady of the house, the heavenly realm. And Nebet Head has a secret for you. She has a treasure. And that is your intuition. One of the greatest gifts a woman has is her intuition. So when you actually can go inside and be still enough to ask any question in the universe, because you want to end the cycle and you keep on bumping up into the same conditions, you have to still yourself, go to your meditation, ask the question. And that first that comes through, we all have that intuitive mind. We see that first, but we ignore it often. But in this case, Nebet Head helps you to wake up, awaken that intuitive power, and you begin to see life from a very high, clear place. And then you follow, and you start to see that I have wisdom now. I can trust my inner spirit. And so that is the lady of the house in the heavenly realm, Nebet Head. And she wears my colors. My inner spiritual name is Nebet Head, Nebet Head, mother of the spiritual realm. Purple is her color. And every gateway has a color, has a stone, has a prayer, has a food, has a breath work. So you learn an array of wonderful tools, over 100 different tools, as you go through your gateways to heal yourself and all your relations. We move ourselves into Ma'at. Ma'at is about the feather. This is the feather, right? This feather is based on a whole nation. And it says that the feather, your heart must become as light as a feather. And that in that lightness, your heart must not hold malice. You say, how in the world? I'm angry at my mother. I'm angry at my father. I'm angry at my exes. I'm angry at my children. I'm angry at the people on the job. You're just angry and you're wounded. So now you're tipping the scale. Ma'at also is about the scales. When your heart is heavy, you get a heart attack. You get a stroke. You get an aneurysm. You get pain. You get vexed. And you learn the principles of learning from every relationship. Every relationship is a teacher. When you learn from a relationship, then you realize it was all a lesson. So you don't have to point the finger out. You can go within, reflect on your lesson, because you have a specific lesson plan why it happened over and over again. And you can end the cycle, asking a question after coming out of your healing bath. And we'll be doing our healing baths on the journey. You come out of that healing bath with the answer. And the next thing you know, you end the cycle once and for all. You end the pathology, you're a new being. Ma'at, a whole nation was based on that principle, and that principle lives today and it's within. And that feather is not only in the heart, that your heart becomes centered and balanced and in a state of harmony, but also your word. It moves us into the next gateway of Ast. Ast is the great mother. And this seat can be considered a throne, but really the throne is not outside yourself. The throne, my beloveds, is in the Ucha, in your consciousness. Are you able to stay in your throne if somebody yells at you or curses you or tries to put you down? Do you lose your cool? Do you lose your center? Do you lose your peace? Do you lose your power? Because that's what's happening. Do you lose your mind? Do you go crazy? Do you snap and want to get back at somebody? You're losing your power. The more that you can stay in that place of that power, the more prosperity will flow. So that is the gateway of As. As also represents the balance between the masculine and the feminine principle. That is left and right brain. The right brain is the feminine principle. The left brain is the masculine principle. When they intertwine, that's the sign of medicine. There's a oneness within you. And then the relationships that you have outside of yourself, they come into harmony. You come into balance. And you're able to sit on your seat of power because that's what As represents, returning to your seat of power. The next gateway is the gateway of Nefertum. And Nefertum is about coming out of the mud. But first, you have to know that you're in the mud. Mud is pain, mud is suffering, mud is diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, anger, rage, wanting to get back. That's the mud of life. But inside that mud, there is a seed. It's a lotus seed. And inside that lotus seed, if you water yourself, if you fast, and all the sacred women are coming in, sacred women are making, we all do a 7-day fast together. For some who more are very advanced, and others will do 7 days of live foods together in the third week of our journey. It's 12 weeks in the third week of our journey. And we do that. We start to really purge that heaviness, and you start to be like water. You begin to rise up, and you come to the top of the water. You open up, and you get a chance to blossom. We say lotus, and you'll say blossom. Lotus, blossom. Lotus, blossom. To blossom means you're the full bloom of a woman. You're the full bloom woman. You're a full bloom woman, then you have a leadership. That you can lead the people who are astray. You can lead their family out of disease. You can lead yourself onto higher ground. You can help your children. The more that you can evolve, you can help your community. Then we have 2 more gateways. Now, after you reach Nefertum, that's the very last chapter of this book. This book was written in 2000. But 20 years before that, I was gathering the knowledge to give you this text that many women say this has become their Bible of women's healing, women's natural medicine. And it's interesting because I had 2 medical doctors who scanned the book to make sure that it wouldn't harm anyone coming through Random House. They wanted to make sure and everything was going to be good with the healer saying these other things that work, and then they work. We have 2 more gates. One is sacred time, cosmic time, Shishat. And cosmic time, I look at a day as a clock. A full season is 1 day. 4 o'clock is Nebuchadnezzar's hour. That's when we rise up. We pick up our treasures so that we can manifest our greatness over the days to come, over the season to come. And then we are at 12 o'clock, that's Ost hour. That's when we will manifest the magnificence of what we received intuitively at Nebuchadnezzar's hour 4. So that 11 o'clock to that 3 o'clock, things are coming to us. We are making connections. We are getting work done. We are creating our books. So much is happening during that time. That's the time of manifestation. And man is manifestation, and women is manifestation. And then at 4 o'clock, between 4 and 6, 7, we go into ourselves, into Heterus time, and we begin to beautify ourselves by taking our healing baths and our healing tonics and lighting our candle and doing our prayers and doing our womb yoga movements. All of that is that work. Then we have our final time of the night, and that's Nut. And Nut is our universal mother. We go into her just like the sun goes in. And where's the sun at night? The sun is hidden in the body of Nut. And throughout the night, the sun is going through Nut and going through us. And we all, just like Nut, we begin to rise up at 4 in the morning. And then when the sun is rising, we already know our walking, marching orders, our moving forward, and we are in formation for ourselves. And day by day, you are in cosmic time, resurrecting yourself in the heights. Finally, we have Meshkinet. And Meshkinet is about being on purpose, being on your work, knowing your sacred work. Do you know your mission, why you came on the planet? I came on this planet to do this work as a healer. And you know what I call this era? I call this era the time of the healer. Everybody's looking for a way out, a way up, a way to heal themselves, a way to tap into natural medicine. People want to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. They want to be able to take care of themselves. So people are looking for herbs and looking for plants and looking for juice therapy and looking for meditation and they're seeking out yoga practice and working in circles with others who are on the like spirit. Well, that's the work of Sacred Woman. Isn't that amazing? I've been creating this a masterpiece. I'm creating through you a work of art, a work of beauty, a work of grace, a work of the healer within you. And so Mesh Connect allows you to listen to that inner spirit and over the 12 weeks begin to work on your website, work on your concept. Did you come here to be a teacher? Did you come here to give trainings? Did you come here to have a product? Are you here to go give out lectures? What are you here to do about wellness? For you to be a midwife, a doula, in corporations. And that's your calling. Everybody has a calling, but be on your calling. And then you'll be on purpose. And a woman on purpose is a woman of joy, a woman of peace. And it feels like you're not even working. You're just living, and that's what you're doing. Those are the gateway.
Welcome back. Give thanks and praise. And so I'm just going to leave this right there. I can't see. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who just are coming on, we just played the main information for the Sacred Woman Rites of Passage, where Queen Afua explains all the gateways, breaks down each gateway. There are 12 gateways. So we are opening up the floor for text. If you want to text in your questions, you can text in a question, and we'll, before the end of the call, we will strive to answer your question. And so we do have some of our guests that are live, and we want to hear from them with their own personal journeys and what they'd like to share of how this program has been to them and impacted them and changed their lives. Welcome in, sister. We have Chef Chandra Lee. Welcome, sister.
Welcome, welcome. Peace and blessings to everyone.
So the great news for those who are interested in this program, it will be beginning. So it's a 12-week program, and it will be beginning April 7th. And details, we'll have the links for you where you can sign up and read a little bit more off of this. Today, we're going to have a private conference call for those sisters who are interested. And we will be able to do a more one-on-one specific to yourself, what questions you have, and we can answer those on that call. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome one of our guests, and you all can't see the phone with the live viewers from IG, but they can see you. I'm just going to try to make the screen a little bigger. And what we would like to do is just welcome you in, and you introduce yourself and share what you have to share regarding your journey. So first we have Michelle Williams from Toronto, Canada, and she's going to share. Or bring that closer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Clearly. Okay. Go ahead, sis.
So greetings, everyone. Glad you can join. I'm just going to share a little bit about my journey with the Sacred Woman program. So the program really allowed me to enhance my connection with self. I didn't even think that I needed the program in the beginning. I heard about Queen Afua's program years ago, and I felt that I could outsmart the program and the system by just buying the book and doing self-teaching on my own. I didn't think that I needed to actually be a part of the program. So almost a whole year went by, even though I told myself I was going to buy the book. I never ended up buying the book until I went to a wellness event and I saw a woman there, and I knew that I couldn't leave the event without speaking to her. I had to speak to her, and I didn't know why until she went up on the podium and took the mic and was like, "Hey, my name is Majestic. I'm a sacred woman practitioner." And at that moment, I knew that I was there at that wellness event for a reason, and that even though I wasn't searching for the program found me that day. So the entire program was like holding up a mirror. It was my reflection, and it constantly revealed all the areas that I thought I had worked through and overcame, but in reality, there was still a lot more work that needed to be done. So the gateway that revealed the most to me was the Sacred Union Gateway, which is about strengthening the union with yourself, with the Creator, and with your mate. And during the program, I was actually planning my wedding. And amidst all the hoopla and preparation, there was discord within our union. And so I found myself still engaging in the same behavioral patterns and cycles that I had before I started the program, such as getting into arguments, getting 10 out of 10 angry, not willing to see his point of view, and then trying to end the relationship. And so I remember one night, this was early July after we had already gone through the Sacred Union week. One Friday night, I got into an argument with him. I started an argument and I blew things out of proportion, and I wasn't willing to see things from his point of view. And I basically told him to get his stuff and leave. And I took off my engagement ring and threw it. And I said, it's over. Um, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I remember he picked up the ring and he was like, you know what, you can keep this. I don't need it. And he took his stuff and he left that night. And I went to bed crying and really seething in anger. Um, but I still felt justified for some reason that I did the right thing. And when I woke up in the morning, I felt really heavy inside. I felt a physical heaviness and a spiritual heaviness. Like, what had I just done yet again? And so I did my prayers and meditation. And I remember that I went back into the Sacred Union chapter, and I flipped to the page where it discussed the union with self. And in order to have a perfect union with yourself, you had to harmonize all the aspects of your personality. So there was a sensual aspect, a aspect that inspires us, one that is brilliant, and then the aspect that is the protector. And it also mentioned to have a relationship with the creator, you needed to truly love yourself the way that the creator loves you. So through revelation and meditation, I came to see that my issues was that I didn't exactly love myself or see myself the way that the creator saw me. So I didn't think that I was good enough to have a partner like him. I didn't think that I was worthy. And so I was acting predominantly out of fear, in the sense that I was afraid of my marriage failing, afraid of, not being a good wife. And so what the aspect of me that took over was my protector aspect, in the sense that I would end the relationship in an event to avoid the fear of failure, the fear of experiencing, you know, ending a marriage. So um I realized that I had to change. I had to make some changes, and we connected again. And I told him the truth, and I apologized, and I said that I vowed to never disrespect him again like that. And from that point on, I decided to work on myself and enhancing the relationship with the creator through recognizing that I needed to work on truly loving myself as the creator loved and saw me. And so we ended up, getting married 2 months after that. And um, we're still married to this day. Things are great. And so I just wanted to um, express the story just to show you that this is a kind of reflection that I'm talking about. It allowed me to see the situation for what it really was, as opposed to living a life of living a reality that I had created for myself. Um, and as Queen Afua mentioned, it was basically me returning to my seat of power. So, all that to say that the program is very challenging. It will reveal a lot to you. It will it will test your beliefs, your faith, your patience, and constantly be that mirror and that reflection to let you know the areas that are still surfacing that you need to work on in order for you to be the woman that you are meant to be. So, if you're willing to make that commitment, it's definitely worth it. So, yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you, sister, for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Sister Michelle. And I do actually remember that day vividly at the Black Wellness event. So it was divine. And sometimes we, in our minds, we have a plan for our life, and sometimes that plan it shifts. You are guided another way. I was speaking to a sister, and she was like, look, different streams, different flows, all to one ocean. And so thank you for that. And we've been friends ever since, sisters.
Yeah.
That's another thing I would like to share about the Sacred Woman Village. So sacred women all over the globe. However, the union, the union that it's real. Like, there are stereotypes, different perspectives, and uh, ideas out there that we as sisters cannot come into harmony, that we cannot come into a strong sisterhood. That is not true. Sacred Women, we do it, and it's not only because of a program. The program facilitates and creates an environment for us to grow, to flourish, different flowers in the garden, but beauty in its own right. One of the gateways had Haru, sacred beauty, and so that gateway has truly helped us understand our value. So with that being said, I would love to welcome our next guest, Sister Sacred Woman Tatiana Newland. So I do see your beautiful self. You are on the call. So please, sister, share with us your journey.
Greetings. Thank you all for tuning in. Can you guys hear me?
Live and clear, sister.
Awesome. Good. Following Michelle's beautiful story, I was kind of wishing that you didn't call on me next, because I was like, that was so powerful, impactful, like beginning to end. So mine won't be as long, but I do have a few things that I would like to share. I was connected to Majestic through a mutual friend, and without a doubt, we were connected for a really significant reason. She also, like Michelle, was the person that actually informed me about this program, but it was much more of I didn't see her at an event or anything like that. It was more of a one-on-one experience, something that she thought that I would see interest in based on my personal interests. So I was really looking for something to really get me more connected to myself, to really build my wellness journey full circle, to grow my understanding in areas that I felt were gaps in my journey when it came to just my understanding of certain rituals and things like that. I was kind of scraping the surface of understanding where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how to get there. And Majestic approached me about this program and just sent me the link. And so I think she knew the way, like the proper way to really approach me about the program. I was voicing some things to her on what I was really searching for, a deeper connection to self. Similarly to Michelle, I was looking for a program that was going to build my wellness journey full circle and really fill those gaps that I needed. I was going through some struggles in personal relationships that were extremely challenging and heart-wrenching for me at the time. And she sent me the video, and the video was fantastic. Like it was similar to the video that they actually showed here, but it did go through all of the chapters, but then there was also a small trailer that I do remember seeing. Now, with that being said, I graduated from Queen Afua's Sacred Woman program in August of 2019. So I clearly did take the program, and it was more impactful than I had ever imagined. Me and a few other Sacred Woman practitioners, Michelle now, Latoya, and one of our other, so Michelle, Monique, and Latoya actually all got a chance to connect and go to the Ascension program, where we were able to really bring that experience to life. It was absolutely fantastic. Chapters that I connected with the most, that were the most impactful for me, were sacred relationships and sacred foods. I was really searching for something to allow me to really fuel my body in the ways that it needed to be fueled. I was having some trouble with my womb wellness. And so I think that was also another reason why Majestic approached me about this program. I was experiencing incredible cramps that were completely debilitating, and growing to understand my body and tune in, understanding that my womb has a voice, and being able to really connect to my womb and understand what it needed in order to improve its health was necessary for me, and I didn't know what it took. So the information by far was tremendously helpful to not only myself, but it's true when Queen Afua says that when we heal ourselves, we heal other people around us, and we can provide others with that information that they need and they don't know that they need. To close out, I just want to mention sacred relationships. Sacred relationships, I think, is an important chapter to many of us. They have the ability to make or break our day. Similar to Michelle, she was just explaining how challenging a relationship was for her. But for me too, like my personal relationships were very, very trying. And so when we put ourselves in that seat of power, we can always get above our emotions and get above the moment and really tune into the right answer. And so going through that chapter, it was really emotional for me, extremely, but I can only say amazing things because the ways in which I'm able to approach my relationships, the ways that I've healed from hurt in the past has improved my relationships drastically. So with that being said, if anybody has any questions for me personally, I'd love to open up anybody to ask me any personal questions, but that would close out my personal experience.
Thank you, sis, so much for sharing. And I listen I love the sisterhood, love. And I listen attentively to key things that, if it hits my spirit, I'm just like, okay, reminder, pay attention. So some things that Sister Michelle shared brought me back, and some things that you're sharing is bringing me back. And one of the things is the inner child. You did an amazing piece on the inner child. There was a podcast, so you can share that later. But I do think of the womb, very important to understand the laboratory of creation. We have a physical womb as a woman, and we have a mental womb. And the inner child is not just the physical womb, being able to give birth, being able to carry. It's the inner voice that, as Queen, I hear Queen in my mind, she says, listen to your inner voice. She has your womb. She has a voice and she speaks. So a lot of the tools that Sacred Woman program gives to us is something that we can carry on daily. It's not something that happens within just a 12-week period. This becomes a lifestyle. And not everyone, is going to pick up a lifestyle of living 25, 30, 15 years of living a certain way. We are habitual beings. So we pick up things by habit. So the tools help to shift us back into the goal of living an optimum life on the different levels in our relationships, in our space, in our womb, in our sisterhood. The foods that we are choosing selectively, the foods that we are choosing to go within our bodies. And so with that, thank you so much, Tatiana and Michelle, for sharing. Want to welcome on another guest. She'll do the introduction. Powerful sister. Please welcome Sister Chef Amara.
That would be me. Can you hear me? Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this Majestic, because it's one thing I love doing more than cooking is sharing and pouring into other souls to help them on their journey. So thank you. My Sacred Woman journey, as everyone was talking, your stories are so beautiful too. I'm like, well, that is absolutely, it's lovely. And I'm learning from it as well. We're still all learning. I'm still a work in progress as well. But my Sacred Woman journey began, even before I knew about Queen, but I found out about Queen, years ago during just probably 2012, 2013 was, I had like a really big awakening. So I was doing a lot of self-work then. And to fast forward to maybe 2018, I believe, is when Queen, her team had reached out to me. She was doing a workshop in Los Angeles. So I was going to facilitate the food for that workshop. So, the universe knows how to get me. Like, I'm like, is it paying? Okay, so that because I was, I was like, I'm gonna get the book. I still wasn't, I'm a chef and I work with a lot of different celebrities and I work a lot of hours. So, that's where my focus had gone. I had done my work and I still was doing it. But there was still more work that needed to be done, especially in me really integrating the feminine aspect of myself because the work that I do just requires a lot of masculine energy. And within the industry that I'm in, it really pulls on the masculine energy. So facilitating this workshop, just being in Queen's presence, it was such a delight. I'm like, oh my goodness. I knew I had been called to teach as well. So I was just really like having Queen in front of me, which is really giving me that example. And it was really just pulling out the teacher in me and also really having me just really be the seat of the observer and just really sit within my feminine energy, really hearing her go through these different gateways and these principles. And I had learned about them and I had done a lot of this work, but I had not had it put into a system, which systems are very key. Like we're really we are supercomputers. So we have programming systems that have everything that functions. So this right here was like it was the operating system that came from our ancestors. That's really just like, it's like the blueprint and you can add on to it and you can add on different apps and stuff. But this right here was the blueprint. So after doing and facilitating this workshop and, Queen put me on the spot, like, yeah, she has programs. And I'm like, I do. Yeah, it really just, it put me out there and I was like, well, I need to take like, it's time for me to go through the Sacred Woman program. Like, I mean, it was a no brainer because I'm all about self growth. If it's a program, I see it, I need it, I get it, I invest in it, I will manifest whatever it is that I need. Like, so I invested my time and my money and I went through the program. And for me being a chef, I did end up going through the gateway of Ta'ert, but quite honestly, there were so many of the gateways that called to me and that I still really work with. But Ta'ert was what I went through. And I still, educate in the importance of food and how it is, it's the foundation. It is, food is medicine. Mm-hmm. And so really knowing which medicines to choose. But I also, for me, I mean, I'm an intuitive healer. So whether it's my cards or it's my crystals, like I use all these different tools. So I really love how she just put these in. And I'm sure a lot of people are doing YouTube University right now. And there's only so far that you can go with YouTube University. What Queen has done is she's taken these different gateways and say, if you're working with certain crystals and you do your readings over here and you're working with these herbs over here, you really are seeing how, like, what system, what gateway does this work within the body? Just like I'm not sure if people are familiar with your signs and your zodiac. You've got your 12 different zodiac signs, and those really are your disciplines. So really all of that correlates to what she has in this book so that you really can go within and really connect with your higher self so that you're guided. You don't have to rely on any outside system. All this book is really in the system, and the program that she has is really just leading you back into yourself, which is what we came here to do so that we can evolve our soul and we can grow, So that is what Queen has done. The program, what it did was it really just gave me a really good blueprint as to refer back to as, for myself, when I feel like something is off, I know exactly which gateway to go to. I can see exactly what herbs, what different flower essences, what different tool to use to bring myself back into alignment. And this is a really good for me when I'm working with clients as well as a really good, blueprint foundation. So I am most grateful to Queen. I am most grateful to have connected with you, Majestic, at our Sacred Women Ascension. And all I can say is that for anyone who's on the fence, if you're on this call, like, you already know that it's time. And, it's time to really connect with yourself so that you will not be feeling uncertain in these times. Like, I don't feel uncertain at all in these times. Like, I'm good. I'm great. I'm still living my best life. So, if you really want to be in that, state of mind, then I believe Sacred Woman is the program for you. So it's just really going to lead you back to yourself. So, if anyone has any questions in regards to her program, in regards to getting back into self, in regards to food, yummy recipes, then you can reach out to me on the call or at Chef Amira. If you Google me, you'll find me. But thank you so much for allowing me to share. I think that if there's anything else, let me know. But thank you so much.
Good things. Thank you, sis, so much for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
You know, I'm going to keep it real. Whenever a new sister speaks, like Sister Michelle, she lit it up. I felt it. Sister Tatiana, Sister Shepamera, like it literally, it's a different journey that each sister's on. And that's life. Life is, what are we, interesting, Beyonce song comes to mind. Footprints, leaving, when I leave this world on the change of time, what will we leave? In summary, it's what will we leave and how will we impact and give of ourselves. But not only give of ourselves, because the law of reciprocity is to receive as well. And sometimes we shy away from thinking that we got to keep giving and giving and gifting. But what about us? What about our soul? We need to be fed as well. So through the Sacred Women Rites of Passage program, we are fed on so many different levels. Chef Amara be cooking it up in the kitchen, whipping it in the catering section. And I see the videos. I see what you do. And so we eat on a physical level, but the spiritual level is so important. So we need to break bread as sisters. We on every level, right? Mind, body, soul. So with the program, once again, I love it. We are open to the questions. Please inbox your questions, DM the questions. I would like all the guests on the line today to share. We'll go back and you can let everyone know where they can follow you because this is International Sister Circle. We all sacred women in the making as well, until of course we go through the rites of passage. So something also before we introduce our next guest, I wanted to share what came to mind when Sister Amara was speaking is the Austin Nebbit Het. This Kemetic guardians, as you go through the gateways, you'll know I am my sister's keeper. But I can't be my sister's keeper unless I am my keeper first. We need to be our first keeper. So when Sis was like, I went into the book, I looked up some flowers, some tonics, to add to my life. This helped her. And so now with this wisdom and knowledge, she can now impart it to another sister. We have to do the work first. And so the healing of our communities, of our children, of our relationships begins with self. So this is one main reason why I recommend the program. As Sister said, it's time. You're on this call, it's divine. Okay, there's an intervention. So, yes, we are.
Can I add something?
Sure.
You know, one thing I didn't mention, and this is an aspect, the area I'm still working on, is what the program does, especially is amazing. It really sets the foundation for sisterhood, because that's something even for me, like me and my sisters growing up, we haven't been close. We have different fathers and there's issues. So for sisterhood, I have my close core friends and that is my sisterhood. But when it comes into like sisterhood, that has always been a challenging area in my life. And quite honestly, we can look at my chart, my natal chart, and see why that is. But regardless, like that is also, and I'm still working on this area, but with being in the circle, everything is within the circle, and Queen Afua really does a beautiful job at bringing the sisters together and creating this environment so that you can really see how important like sisterhood is, how important the circle is, because it really does happen within the circle, So that is like I know that, like right now people are looking for, you can't community, you can't do anything without community, and the circle, the sisterhood, that is the community. So just for that, if you're looking for, you might have your sisters are close, but really having that circle is very, very key. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I second that. So sisterhood, we got another sister on the line, and she also be chefing up in the kitchen. I think we all of us, we have our unique ways of doing what we do. And that's the beautiful thing. Earlier, I was talking about the garden. So we're all divine beings in a garden, the garden of life. So please welcome to the garden another sister, Sister Chandra Lee. Welcome,
Blessings,
Maps.
peace and blessings, everyone. It's such an honor to be here and to share during this really trying time for everyone globally. It's just an honor to be here and and when I met Majestic, it was just so beautiful. We connected like right away. From the connection from Toronto, Jamaica, we just really connected, and that was just a beautiful connection. My journey began, my mom transitioned in 2009. And at the time, I did my master's in clinical nutrition, so I was working in the hospitals, and I always was searching for something else. And I would say for sure, I went to a cooking school, which is Natural Gourmet, which is a vegan-based cooking school. And then, I continued on as a nutritionist, as a chef, working with a lot of clients, working with groups and senior centers, and, bringing everything together. And then I went to herbal school. And I went to herbal school, my whole life opened up. Everything opened up. I connected to nature. I connected to just myself. And then I went to, my friend was like, oh, come with me. Doing the Sacred Woman, it was an introduction to Sacred Women. So I was like, I wasn't coming to join or anything. I just said, okay, I'll just come with you. So it was the Renaissance class in 2016. So I was just there as a guest, and went to the program. And I was like, oh my God, this sounds like something that I truly, truly need. I felt like I was like, okay, so that's everything opened up. It created so much balance for me. I worked with Queen of Food so many times, and what brought out for me was Thai Earth, which was sacred food. I'm telling you, when I tell you the healing of mind, body, spirit, and emotion, and the nutrition kitchen, the kitchen of consciousness. And when I tell you, it was like, it just opened up. I healed myself. And as Queen says, you heal yourself, you heal your relationships. And that truly is, it's where it's at. Truly healing yourself and being able to see people around you, your family, your friends heal without trying to convert anyone to do anything, just really being able to be that example. So just being able to heal myself with food, mind, body, spirit, and emotion, and being able to see how food and the sacredness of food and the sacredness of plant-based foods with our fruits and vegetables, and how healing the enzyme, the electricity in the foods, how it heals you. So it creates so much balance for me, and being able to share that with people, and it created like the sister circle as we continue to grow, and you meet more and more sacred women, and like Queen says, we are here to lighten the darkness. And when I say that is such a true statement, we are all light, and being able to recognize that is for me is just where it is. So for me, my journey has been just a blessing, just so much growth, so much connection to myself, to my relationships, the ups and downs, even through this time of this this trying time that we're all going through, social distancing and being able to be safe for ourselves and for our families. This is the time that is really being able to go within. I've been in retreat, really healing myself and not letting everything that's going on take a hold of me. So it created a lot of balance. So just going through the program, going through all the gateways in like one of really I would say truly the gateway that really also connected to me was BEST, which is sacred movement. And that also too, when you move and you feel like your energy, your electricity in your body, and understanding that also helps your digestive system. movement. So with the sacred food and movement, man, I'm telling you, that's what's been helping me during this time. Like I've been going to the park. Like I'm not actually in my home right now, but I'm in my second home in Philadelphia. And when I tell you, we've been going to the park every day. Me and the children have been going to the park, and it's just been amazing. So I would say that this program has changed my life. It's just changed my life, and it created so much more balance for me. Even all the different things that I've gone through. I worked and I did my master's in nutrition, and just I didn't even have that connection to nature when I did that. And then I went to herbal school. It just opened up my connection to nature. And then when I did the program, it just really solidified everything. So I'm just grateful and honored to be able to be here and be able to talk about this, and to be able to work with Queen in many occasions, and with with the Nutrition Kitchen of Consciousness. So I'm grateful. If anyone has any questions, please feel free. Majestic.
Oh no, yes, ma'am. I was looking at questions. Thank you for sharing. It was divine, our initial meet, and it's beautiful. The journey is wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. And we have so much gratitude for Mother Queen Afua. And when we say mother, like, we have our physical children, those who do have in this world, and God, even as a godmother, but then there's the spiritual mother. And so Queen Afua has definitely, the Most High has expanded her heart in ways that only we can understand the experience. When you meet this woman, if you ever have a chance to meet her, but when you go to the words, like when I say she has meditated, prayed, and gotten in tune to give birth to the Sacred Woman's book. And this is a gift to us. And it's not that it's all connected, because those gateways that we are guided to go through and have gone through, before we graduated, we were on the same path, 12 weeks, waking up early in the morning, going through our challenges and obstacles. Some sisters might have a challenge with one or two gateways, and then some of the gateways, it might mean like, oh, this is a piece of cake, I'm going straight through it. But one thing I've learned and heard from some of the sisters I've mentored from just our circle is that there's something in it for everyone. Whether you are Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, regardless as to your spiritual practice in your life at this time, it's a lifestyle of holistic living, of healthy choices, healthy thinking. So I'm thinking of our sisterhood, and sometimes we put up blocks. Sometimes those blocks are within our own self. It really puts us in a space to reflect and to go on a journey for self. So the questions, yes, we are open to any questions anyone has out there. You could type it in, you could text it in, and we are here for you all. The guests, if you're still online, you're still able to share with our audience today, just where the viewers can follow you, where they can get some information, some more insight on what you do and what you represent. We have, the chefs on the line. We have wellness practitioner, nutritionist. And so please share your information so we can get the community who don't know where to follow y'all, and the courses, those courses that you have to offer our community. Please share, where can we follow you? Well, where can they? I'm already following you. We're already in. So
we're connected.
so please share. Michelle, Tatiana, any one of you sisters can go right ahead.
Well, I can start. You can follow me at Chef, actually Embrace Raw Living. The word embrace, the word raw, and living. So I specialize in raw vegan food. And that's on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, it's Organic Flavors. So that's where my website is, embracerawliving.com. So we're embrace, the word raw, and living.com.
Got it.
Oh, the pizzas are phenomenal. I'm so sorry. I have to interject for a minute before anyone else gives their info. When I went to New York, what a heavenly state. It was just so bliss. I loved it. Raw pizza, I've never had it before. And sister, I even have pictures of it. I have video.
Yeah, videos.
So it was just so good. Thank you, sis, for sharing it.
Yes, give thanks.
I have a personal website, TatianaNewland.com, and my Instagram is the same. Maybe I can put in the live comments or something like that, the spelling, but it's my first name, last name, for both my website and my Instagram. I actually just recently started my holistic nutritionist certification. So super exciting, super inspired by your page. So beautiful. But yeah, that'll be my handles, and a lot more stuff to come with me taking on that nutritionist journey and things like that. So very exciting.
Nice. Let me know if you have any questions.
Of course, I will.
For me, I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, and I've just started building my business. So my website is in the works, but it's not yet created. But if you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram at Michelle Alvarenga, and I'll put it in the chat so that you know how to spell that. Thanks.
And that would leave me. And you can find me Instagram, Twitter, Chef Amira, CHEFAMEERA, and or chef www.chefamira.com. And I actually this coming week I'm going to be having some discovery calls for my cosmic alignment program that I have that I'm going to be launching. So you'll want to definitely hop on and get on one of those discovery calls. And I'm going to be starting a cooking happy hour. Just with people, I've seen, and people have all kind of stuff in their fridge, and I've been seeing the pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lead and start to make a few different things that are simple. Like for me, I'm all about I like bold flavors, and I like to tantalize the tongue, but I just like to keep it simple because outside of cooking for my clients, when I'm at home, I need something that's 15, 20 minutes tops because I'm not trying to get in the kitchen. So yeah, I mean, I love creating, but outside, if I'm spending a whole day creating in the kitchen, when I come home, I don't want to do it. That's the first thing my kids do. What are we eating? What are you making? Yeah, so I literally am okay, so let me come up, because I understand for me, I was eating. Recently I was in I was hit by a car walking across the street back in January. So I was in the hospital for a month. So even this whole everybody's in the house, I'm I've been here since January. But for me in that process, I was I couldn't eat everybody's food, but I had to eat out a lot of different things. And I just know when I couldn't cook. So energetically, I understand the importance of being able to put hands on my food and for me to eat it. So I just had to come up with quick things so that I wouldn't eat out. And right now that actually has been taken away from me. So, I'm let me do something quick, something that you can even make in bulk, you can put up, because nobody's trying to spend a lot of time in the kitchen right now. We should just really be spending time on being silent and just creating. Right now is really a time to rebirth and to create, because pretty soon when things go back, you're going to want to have proof from that time that we've spent, incubating. We're spending time incubating, being able to grow. So quick meals are where it's at. So that's what I'm going to do.
And you can follow me on IG, Majestic and the Menu. And also, I will put in some of my links that you can connect with for some upcoming stuff, different programs that's happening. So some of the questions, thank you, sisters, for sharing your information. If you can stay on the line just for a little bit more, I just want to open up the floor to just a conversation for our viewers on some of the questions. So I may put my head down, it's just because I'm looking at some of the questions. So one of the questions, and I'm opening this up because we're all sacred women. We've all taken the program, so we may have some insight on this. We should, of course. So one of the questions is, how can I realistically make this applicable to my life after the program? Like, since this is someone who hasn't taken the program, so it's 12 weeks. As a sacred woman, how do I make this applicable to my life moving forward? If I'm okay, there we go. Go ahead, sister.
Oh yes, no. Well, see, once she goes through the program, like the gateways within her are going to open up, so she's going to start to see the spiritual correlation in her everyday life. That's actually the purpose of taking the program, because spirit is already here. You just can't see it and you're not connecting to it. So once you go through the program, you're going to see how Nefertum has showing up and how it's been showing up and how to move through that gateway within your life. Like, this is actually so that you can like be in this world but not of this world. You'll be able to see how spirit is speaking through, how they're moving, how they're opening certain things. That's the part, that is really the reason why you're taking this program, is really so that you can see those, you'll see those gateways in your everyday life as you go through the program and as you do the work and you go within and you go through these initiations, you go through these gateways, you're going to be activated so that you can see how it's moving in your everyday life. That's that, so you'll see it. You got to go through it to see it.
Yeah, exactly. It will resonate with you.
And it also will become a part of you. And so
yes.
After 12 weeks, if it don't become a part of you, then we might have to just start at the beginning again and flow through it again. And one of the great things about the program, there are mentors. There are mentors and supporting sisters to help support you on your journey. So once you sign up, you will be assigned a mentor. And that mentor will take you to be there on call, whatever you're going through, to help you with your challenges or obstacles, or just say, well done, Sister Michelle, or well done, Sister Amira, right? So, okay, another question we have online, Sister Moni J, or Moni. Have any of the queens had to repeat any of the gateways?
Yeah, I always go back through the gateways. I'm always reflecting back. Like, I mean, their process is always. As I just posted something on my page, I said that the spiral. Oh my goodness, I wish I can go back. Actually, I'm gonna go get that because that quote needs to be said. Because everything, as we go back through the spiral, we come back around, and you're able to see things even at a deeper level. Like, on one aspect of relationships, I'll say on the gateway of relationships, I can go through it, and then as I'm coming up and having, it might even be great. I'm about to close. I want to close this $1 million deal. So it's really requiring a different aspect of myself to walk into this room. So I might have to refer back to see, like, what aspect of myself do I need to bring going into this meeting? Like, when it comes to relationships, where do I need to be at? So I'm always going back through and referring back. Okay, I feel like I'm having a blockage here, or something isn't just flowing. So let me refer back and then go back and look and just sit with it. And it comes through. So it's always a process of reflection going through here. So that's me personally.
Any other sister want to share? Did you have to repeat any of the gateways?
For me, because Sacred Union was the gateway that revealed the most to me, I felt that throughout my union, I'm continuously going back to that and recalling certain rituals or love rituals that were listed in the book. Also, in terms of there was parts of the first gateway, the womb, that I felt like I hadn't fully completed yet, or that I wanted to complete, because there's a lot of different rituals there. And so after the program was over, I did set some time aside to like begin a new moon ritual for my womb, just so she had, you know, as much attention as needed. But there's definitely a lot of the gateways that I wouldn't say that I would have repeated the entire gateway, but there's different aspects that I felt throughout the course of my life that I need to give certain attention to, and so I did do that.
I myself, I've gone through all the gateways again. It's a cycle. I've made it 12 weeks, and then 12 weeks again, and then 12 weeks. I did that for a year. After my graduation, I repeated it because when you read or go through the first gateway the first time, you may see something differently. It goes deeper and deeper, and it's a lifestyle. So even as far as reading it, we may not do all the things in the gateway around the first time. Now, during the 12 weeks, my personal experience, I missed a gateway a whole week. I said, life happened, literally. And once again, we plan, and the Most High plans, and the Most High is the best of all planners. So life happened, and I missed a whole week. Then I missed another week, and I called my mentor, and I'm like, wait a second, I think I need to start again next season. And so with the support that I had, I just kind of doubled up in 2 weeks. And so one of the tools that we'll have on the journey, that the book literally tells you the ingredients, what you put in the bath, is our sacred baths. And those sacred baths are like, you have your essence in the bath, different essentials that Queen recommends to put in the bath during the time, that gateway that you're in. I may have missed 2 baths. It's a journey. So yes, I hope that answers your question, sis. I have as well had to repeat some of the gateways, but I did end up graduating within my graduation season. So I was grateful for that. And call on your sisters. This is not just you're on your own. You sign up, you go through it. This is Sacred Woman Village, global, international. Another question. I'm really going to open this one up to the floor because I know that the sisters are not, we all didn't come in the same, although there was something that united us. Question is, sisters, oh, thank you, sisters. Okay, Shali. I'll get to your question in a moment, but this question is Sacred Woman a religion? Is Sacred Woman a religion? Anybody on the call can share. Is this a religion?
I was about to say, I was waiting for somebody. No, it's not a religion.
Not a religion.
I would say, and not even so much in my opinion, really understanding like what religion is. I mean, it's not a religion. They are spiritual principles. So you can apply them. That's why, she talks about the Christian sacred woman or the Muslim sacred woman, because these are spiritual principles. And if you really look at the archetype of energy, you'll find it within the Bible. You'll find it within the Quran. You'll find it within the Torah. You'll see these are spiritual principles. And that's really what we've gotten away from as a people. And that's actually why we are where we are today, is because we're not following spiritual principles. So when we come back in alignment with these spiritual principles, then we definitely can we'll activate the sacred woman within. The sacred woman is already there. She just has to be birthed. So I think that sums it up.
Anyone want to add to that? No. It does sum it up.
Sums it up. Yep. That's great.
So come as you are, but unite in the wholeness of the Sacred Woman's union. So come as you are. And it actually, I'll say this, for me, it helped strengthen my faith because it made me more focused. It made me see the purpose as to why I was doing some of the rituals that I learned growing up in the Christian church. Some of the rituals that I learned were very in alignment with the way Muslims practice or Jews practice, right? So the cleansing, the being selective of the foods that you're eating, the meditation, the prayers, the cleansing of one's space. So a lot of it, that's right, Sister Amira, it is principles, foundation. So another question we have, how have you been able to support women on the Sacred Woman journey the most since you have gone through the program? How many have you been able to support women on the Sacred Woman program since you have gone through it?
I can definitely say just working with Queen and many workshops and programs I've supported with, definitely with the Nutrition Kitchen, with Sacred Food, whether it's sister circles, whether it's even when I met you, Majestic, bringing the food to that event is how we met. And we connected since then. So definitely through food, I was able to just continuously support and, you know, help other sacred women.
Excellent. And same thing with the sisters out here, Sister Michelle, Tatiana, myself, and Latoya. We offer we host the Sacred Circles. So this is where women come out and learn more about themselves, their spirituality, their healing journey, alongside with inquiries of the program. So we offer different supporting tools and whatnot. Which brings me to another question. The program, this is very important to know. Sacred Woman Rites of Passage is online. It is a program offered online and in person out of LA, New York, but also, of course, with the times we're living in, especially, you know, with quarantining and being in our sacred spaces, it's still online. It's nothing's changing. We are, the program has advanced from where it first began, right? It's online, offered online. So once again, you can contact me, DM me after this call. We will go into a private conference call and we'll do a Q&A. Or if you would like to set up a one-on-one as a Sacred Woman practitioner, I do offer consultations. So it's more an intimate setting. And any other questions? Okay. It's a 12-week program. It begins April 7th, goes to the 31st of July, 12 weeks, and then there is the Ascension. I'd love to close out this call today with your experience at Ascension. Brief. I mean, how brief could it be? Because it's Ascension. So if y'all want to share a little bit about Ascension, graduation time after the 12 weeks. Open up.
I would say it was so enlightening. I mean, I've gone to several ascensions since my ascension, but just going through my ascension, it was so heartfelt. I did Sashat. That was my gateway that we performed, and it was so magical just being able to share with the audience and share with your other sisters and how enlightening it was and how we ascended. You know, it was beautiful. And just going back and just experiencing that again and again, you know, in New York when, you know, we were doing the ascensions in New York, it was just so magical. So I would say that as many as you can go every ascension, you know, if you can, if it's possible, you know, it just really like I would say it just kind of just opens up something else for you time and time again. At least for me, that's what it did. As you know, it's like you ascend, you know, with your sisters every time you go to an ascension. And that was my experience.
For me, Ascension was extremely powerful. I remember I wasn't even going to go because I was planning for my wedding, but then the day before, Majestic and Tatiana were like, "Hey, we really feel like you should be there. Spirit says you should be there." And I was like, "Okay, that's all I needed." I booked my ticket. I packed like everything in literally one day, and I went there, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. I've never experienced such a surge of energy and community and support from sisters ever. It was it was truly unforgettable, and like Chef said, like that is definitely you are ascending like by just being there. um yeah, you have to go to Ascension. You have to.
Experience it.
Yeah.
And so, real quick, I just want to show you, just, you know what? Spirit said, do this. And that's another thing. When you are in tune, you obey, strive to obey Spirit. I just want to pull it up. I hope y'all can see it. This is us at Ascension. I just had to. Sorry, Michelle. So that's Tatiana, myself, and Michelle. That was in LA. Moment just to capture the ocean experience. And so I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but we know what it's worth. We know what the entire journey is worth. Sister Amara, did you want to share anything about your ascension? Because bedazzling. I remember the sisters are beautiful. Go ahead, sis.
For me, so first I've been doing like my different rituals and ceremonies for years. So I'm really big on rituals and ceremonies. I understand the importance of it. It's like baptism or, so for me, the culmination of all the work and going to the sweat, the sweat lodge, the sweat in, and just, the stage and going through going through the process of with your sisters within that gateway. It definitely, even for me, I know I seem very extroverted, but I really am an introvert. So I know, really I am. But it really, it was very emotional for me. It definitely pulled me because I just can be, I'm always holding space for others. So I like to just kind of keep my feelings to myself, but really it was like an opening of the heart chakra. And just to go through this and to have my family come and to have the community come and witness it, it was a very, it was life-changing. So definitely going through the ascension, it just kind of puts everything together, especially since it's online, which right now we're starting to see online is becoming the new normal. It's just to put that culmination on the end. That's all the hard work that you've gone into, and really going through and, participating in this. It's a ceremony, it's, a ceremony that's just bringing out like that, that lotus, you really have gone through the dirt and, the lotus, and I remember it made you think about those times when, I think about even times when I remember I was in the dirt. And now that I've gone through it, just like there's a culmination. So, it's like a graduation from school or a culmination from school. It's the same thing. So, it's just really the completion of the process. And so I'm grateful that I was able to experience that.
Those who are new to this, you'll hear that at Ascension a lot. Thank you so much, sisters, for coming on the call. We want to thank all of our viewers watching, our guests. And before we finally close out, I wanted just to bring attention to the supporting tools, the products. This is what's going. It's listed in some of the tools you see are listed in the text. If you don't have access to the textbook, once again, you can contact myself direct to inquire about the products, the healing products, Master Herbal. Green Life, Cold and Ease, Herbal Laxative. If we are impacted, which a lot of us are, if you have never had a colon cleanse, if you have never detox, there are the products that are healing, supporting tools from Queen Afua. This is Queen Afua's line, and it's Heal Thyself. I mean, I've personally been using it for 3.5 years now. And the first time I used the Cold and Ease, the face to just tell you, it was ease to the body, and I did feel I felt the benefits of it. The Master Herbal Cleansing, if we are addicted to sugars, if we have certain addictions to narcotics, this product, the Master Herbal, helps tremendously, weaning us off of those addictions. So we're cleansing the temple, and this is a guide, right? It helps us mind, body, and soul. It's a holistic way of living. So please inbox regarding some of the products. And lastly, for womb health as well, the clay. The clay, you can, if you're having cramps, if you are having womb issues, the clay is a wonderful product to help with those ailments as well. And I have to mention, y'all know what this is.
Oh, Breath of Life. Oh, that's my favorite.
You all see me sipping? Y'all see me sipping like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
The Breath of Life. Mr. Michelle, at the Sacred Circles, remember, we do the ritual. Everybody gets a drop, and we do shots.
Green shots.
We do green shots, and the Breath of Life is good for congestion, respiratory, in this we all know what's going on around the world, and we want to be able to keep our immune systems boosted, our systems strong, our respiratory systems, the breathing system, the lungs, opening it up, breathing in the shower. You apply some of this power tonic under the tongue, and we're all in business when we all do it. So give thanks for the Breath of Life from Queen Afua. Also a kit. We do have some kits. This is you can inbox me for this. More information on that. Shangite stones and sage and lavender, stuff for the bath, essentials to help support you on your journey. So we want to give thanks and praise, and also mention our mother, Queen Esther, the dean of Queen Afua's University, and she's the dean and beautiful sister at Ascension. She performs Mother Nature, which love, powerful sister and mother to us all, and supporting, very supportive. So if you have any questions, please inbox. And you have everyone's connections here. I am your sister, and I am my sister's keeper, only because I am first my keeper. So we want to thanks, and we want to give thanks and praise to the Creator for today.
Yes.
Thank you, sisters, for coming on the line. Thanks to Black Ice TV. Thank you, Black Ice, Brother Terry, for your support, the technical background stuff, all that stuff in the background. There are people working. This is a community, and we are here for each other. So thank you, Tatiana, Chandra Lee, Michelle, and Chef Amira. Thank you so much, sisters. I love you all.
Yes, and Chef Amira, we tell, I don't know if she's still on the line, that we must connect.
Oh.
I've been hearing so much about her and connecting with her. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, that definitely make that connection. The International Sister Circle. We have our sisters from the UK. Pardon me before we close out this line, Brother Terry. Hold on, don't click it. The International Sister Circle is global. It is all over the world, and it's bringing us sisters who are also sacred women and connecting us all. So shout out to the International Sister Circle. We appreciate you, sisters in the UK. Y'all are online watching. We love you as well. If I forgot anyone, pardon me. Just, sometimes when I thank everyone, I'm thanking you. I am thanking you. Okay.
Yes. And I want to thank you, Majestic,
Love you.
for bringing this together. Yes, us just having this connection, talking to Terry, and being able to make it happen. And this is the time to make it happen, because this is the time for us to continue to lighten the darkness. And right now, this is some serious darkness. So we need to come together as a sisterhood globally, and as the international sister circle started, from a global level. We already foresaw what was, going to happen. Just being able to have that, intuition to be able to see that we have to come together, as a family, as a community, and as a sisterhood. And like Queen says, everything is in the circle. So, when we're all together, like, oh, you can do this, we could do this, we can barter, we could do this. Like, it was just beautiful. And it continues to be this beautiful community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So sisters, I do consultations. Inbox me April 7th, the beginning of that's orientation. Orientation begins April 7th. There is a fee for the program. And once again, there are payment plans and stuff. So you can inbox me for details on that. 12 weeks. 12 weeks. It's not every single day. It's week 1 is this gateway, week 2, week 3, and then you flow through it and create what works for you. But so long as you are putting in the effort and getting the homework in, it's a course, right? And so we want to come out the winners in the ending. The race is not to the swift or the strong, but to the ones that can endure to the ending of the process. So with love, we thank the Most High for this call today and bringing us together. And no matter your religion, no matter your type of spirituality, we always give thanks to the Creator and to the ancestors, those who paved the way for us to even be here. That has contributed to the 50 years, 40 plus years of this divine work. And once again, condolences for our fallen soldier, our brother, Dr. Layla Africa. Yes, so we want to give our condolences to the family and to our community. Thanks.